This is going to happen sooner or later. It doesn't matter how big your base is, how small your base is, you're going to get raided. So my idea with building rust bases is to keep the build as small as possible so you don't have to farm like a minion, and making sure you've got everything you would need for your wipe. Let's get into it. What is going on, everyone? My name is Lionclaw and welcome back to a brand new video. Now in today's video we've got a base build that I'm nicknaming the Firefly. It's an ultra compact solo duo bunker and it features all the necessities that you'd need for a solo or duo during your wipe. Now I'm not going to lie to you guys, there is not a lot of storage in this base, but if you're playing solo or duo and you don't need an awful lot of storage and you play passively and you're not grinding this game out every day, then I can't see how this base is not going to be the one for you. Now, since you guys like the Panzer build, this is basically an upgraded Panzer with a better shooting floor, more storage. That is all it is. So if you watch that, you'll know roughly how to build it, but there is a few changes in this build that you guys need to know about. Now, without further ado, let's get straight into how to build the starter. So, let's start off with the footprint. You want to build a square foundation and surround it with triangle foundations. Add 2 raised triangle foundations and seal everything in with walls. Start upgrading everything to stone. Next, for the TC placement, you want to place the TC in the right-hand side of the triangle. Make sure to lock this off and seal it with a window. Start throwing ceilings up, but just make sure you look at the video because some are going to be wood like that one and the rest are going to be stone. There is another wood triangle, but I'll make sure to point it out when we come to it. Start building your entrance by placing 2 walls, another wall, and then you want to do your doorways. Make sure to upgrade all of this to stone. And then start placing your ceilings, making sure the 2 on the outsides are stone and 1 in the middle is wood. Next, we want to place 3 half walls, keeping the first one twig and upgrading the 2 others to stone. Remove the first half wall. Place your doors. I like to use the industrial door skin because you can see through it. Now we can place our shelf for our storage boxes. The placement can be quite tricky, but just make sure you get the box in the corner of each triangle. You can place boxes to stand on if that helps. Remove any excess boxes if you placed them. We can now add our furnaces. You'll be able to fit 3 in this triangle. Make sure you place them as tight as we can because we're going to need to place a garage door there. Next, add your workbench and you can add 4 small boxes here. As I said, this base is very compact, but you can get the placement. It might be tricky at first if you're a new player, but you should be okay. Next, add your sleeping bags. You'll be able to fit 2 in here. Add a campfire for good luck. Make sure to place your shotgun traps so you don't have any chance of getting deeped on. Place a rug for max comfort. Now this is how you seal the bunker. If you place a twig half wall and then place a ceiling tile, you'll be able to upgrade that ceiling tile. When you spawn back in, all you have to do is destroy the twig and that's your bunker clear. And that is your starter done, but I wouldn't leave it too late because you're going to need to upgrade this because it's very weak at the moment. Now the first upgrade you need to acquire is a locker because we can't continue with the rest of the base until this locker is placed. Once you've got your locker, place it down and then place a window frame over it, upgrading it to stone. Now we need to upgrade the base to fully sheet metal. This is going to increase raid cost, and to be fair, this is the core, so you want all of it sheet metal. You can go for armored round TC, that's what I normally do, but for the purpose of this video, I'm just going to do it to sheet metal. Once that's done, you need to place your platform. This is going to protect your foundations covering your bunker. Upgrade all of this to stone. In later stages of the game, you can upgrade it to sheet metal. It just gives it that added bit of protection. Now moving on to the honeycomb, pay close attention to this because it is a very strange style honeycomb. But to be fair, after testing this base multiple times, this is the best way to add those defenses of the honeycomb. One thing to bear in mind, and you might vary in opinion with this, but I would keep the honeycomb to stone. You want to try and draw as little attention as possible if you're a solo or duo. If you upgrade this to sheet metal, it's definitely going to gain a lot more attention. And to be honest, if I was in a group or anything like that, I'd see it as a good raid target. So it's your choice. You can add the protection, or you can choose to stay off the radar, kind of. But either way, the size of the base, you're probably still going to be a raid target, so you could argue for either point, but that is completely down to you if you want to upgrade this to sheet metal. Now, you might be looking at this and thinking, well, Lionclaw, why are you putting roofs on your honeycomb? Now, there is a good reason for that, because that's going to play into the shooting floor when we get further into the video. Make the other side the same, keeping it symmetrical. Now, just bear in mind, the reason why we place the locker down first is because the roofs actually block the locker placement. So you can't do this step before you place that locker down. We're now going to move on to your hidden storage room. Make sure to hatchet that wood ceiling out with a machete or a sword or anything. Start walling it in. Make sure this part of the build is all upgraded to sheet metal. Place your ceilings down, making sure to upgrade them to sheet metal, but do not upgrade that wood ceiling because you're massively going to regret that later on in the build. Level up from the existing honeycomb, making sure that it's half walls, and upgrade everything to stone. Place more ceilings and upgrade them to stone also. Next, upgrade your bunker wall to sheet metal, but you can use armoured. Then place your storage boxes in your hidden loot room. The placement for the small boxes can be quite tricky because you haven't got a lot of space, but it is doable. Add your garage door. And place a window, and you can also go for an embrasure over your TC. Place a triangle ceiling frame and upgrade it to sheet metal. That is where your ladder hatch is going to go. Now we'll work on the second loot room. Hatchet out that wooden ceiling and place a frame. Upgrade that to sheet metal and place a hatch. Build your loot room as a 1x1. And upgrade it to stone. Place a frame for your garage door and the ceiling. Make your shelf for the loot room. Add ramps to increase the raid cost if a top-down raid occurs. Make sure to only place your 2 bottom boxes because it's going to prevent the ramp on the top from being placed. Add a garage door and replace the boxes once you place the ramp. Build your chute by placing 2 walls and upgrading them to stone. Then place a floor triangle frame for your ladder hatch. I like to upgrade mine to sheet metal, but you can upgrade to stone and then place your ladder hatch. Build a triangle identical to the one on the front. Now place 2 low walls and upgrade them to stone and place a ramp in the middle. Place 2 window walls on each side. Add on your ceilings and upgrade them to stone. Add 2 half walls and upgrade them to stone. Then place a ceiling frame. Next, add 2 square frames and upgrade them to sheet metal. place 2 roofs. The placement can be a little bit tricky, but you can get there in the end. Upgrade that to stone. Now place 2 small boxes to give you those angles. That should give you a better field of view over your base. Make sure all your core is upgraded to sheet metal or armoured. Remove your tier 1 or tier 2 and replace it with a tier 3. Small box should place under the tier 3, and remove your boxes and place them as seen. Now you can go and upgrade everything to sheet metal like I've done in this build. Obviously, like I said before, it is completely up to you. It's whether you want to remain off the radar or give your base a little bit more protection, but I chose to use sheet metal. If you are going to use sheet metal, make sure everywhere is covered up to a certain point. You can also go higher to protect your second loot room, but that is completely down to you. Now this is where the roof comes into play. You can actually place barricades on these roofs, and that's going to make it a lot more difficult for someone to try and ladder up and get your kit if you're killed in the shooting floor. Now people will still be able to ladder up, but if they haven't got a ladder on them, there's not much chance of them getting your kit by doing this. Now you can just surround your base in barricades, but I think 3 on each side is enough. But you're going to want to use metal because they are the most sturdy. And that is it. That is the base complete. That is the Firefly. Let me know what you guys want to see in the comments down below. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. I put a lot of time and effort into making it. I am working on the shooting floor for this base, so that might be in the next video, but I'm not too sure. I've got a design that is a 360-degree shooting floor for this base, but let me know what you guys want to see in the comments down below. A like is appreciated, but as always, I've been Lionclaw, and I'll see you guys in the next one.